Tickets booked, activities planned, packing mostly done. This is our second to last public update. Let's get to it. Hey Wonder Crew, it is Mike here. And yeah, like I said, this is our second to last update before Jamaica. Next week will be our last update, and then it's going to be our last public update. So I'm mentioning it now. If you have found use in the updates that we've had so far, just make sure to head on over to our Patreon. We have free levels, we have very inexpensive levels, but that's where these updates are going to go from now on, so that I can get a little bit deeper into what I've been talking about here on the channel as far as the preparations and the things that I personally have to do, and things that, you know, families, co-parents and stuff like that might have to do in order to make travel happen. There's a lot of deeply personal stuff, a lot of kind of legal stuff that I can't talk about out here in public. So I'm going to be putting these updates post Jamaica, moving into our Cuba trip and our Japan, China trip. I'm going to put these updates onto Patreon, not because I'm trying to make money off of it, but I have to put them in a place where it can be a little bit more private so that I can speak a little bit more freely. But one thing I wanted to do in the update on today was talking about one last packing thing that I've had to do, one last preparation thing that I have had to do, and that is my travel binder. Now, this is a plain binder. One day I'm gonna get like a TWC branded binder, but for now, this is what I got. And I wanted to talk a bit about what's in it. So there are a couple of things that I have to do as a single parent, as a co-parent, that traditional families just don't have to do. And there are some things that if you're a traveling parent, you should do no matter what. So in my binder, a couple of first things. Thing number one is a whole emergency summary. So this is information for each of the kids, if they have meds, emergency contacts, all of that. This sheet is designed for if somebody picked it up because, heaven forbid, you got into an accident or something like that, that they have the information they need to call emergency contacts or to help you out. Next thing I have, which I mean traditional families don't have to have, but I have to have, is my travel consent. So that might take the form of a signed letter from your co-parent. In my case, it's a court order allowing me to travel. If you're wondering about how that came about, you'll have to see one of my past video updates about that, but it is important. Behind that, I have information, copies of information for each of the kids. So a copy of their passport and a copy of their birth certificate. And the reason I have those is just to make it easier if I'm in an airport, and that's the point of this, if I'm in an airport or I'm at customs or a police officer or something like that asks me, hey, you seem to be here with these kids by yourself, what's the deal? I have all the answers here. Proof of communication, about the trip, all that kind of stuff is here. Now, if you're a traditional family, you should still have lots of this stuff. You want to have copies of your birth certificates and other IDs so that if you lose them, you have at least something to try and prove your identity. Behind that, I have our travel itineraries. Again, simple, important stuff. For me, it's important because, again, if I'm in an airport or something like that and somebody asks, I can show, look, I've got tickets there, I've got tickets back, they're all booked. You know, I'm not running away with the kids or something like that. So behind that, I have our parenting order. So again, this parenting order has information and clauses about travel already in it. So it just makes it clear if somebody was going to ask that, hey, here's some information, here's what the thing is. And of course, behind that, I have information. This is information about our hotel, any other bookings that have confirmations go in here. Now, this is the important stuff. This is the parental stuff and all that kind of stuff. Way at the back, I also have our entire actual itinerary, the excursions and the activities that we want to do, all that kind of stuff. Now, as a YouTuber, there are some other things that I have. You guys know we're gonna do a food passport challenge, so I have, you know, the written out information. And a lot of this stuff, I have it here in the written form so that if my phone isn't working, if my computer isn't working, I don't have access to it or the internet for whatever reason, I've got everything I need because I really want to make this trip great for the kids, but also for you guys as well. So I also have a daily log in here, and I mentioned this in the packing video, and I'm doing this separately because I think it's important enough to do it separately, but I have a daily log in here. Again, it's in paper so that if I don't have access to internet or whatever not, I can just write things down. Not only again for the channel, you know, and things I need to remember for editing and stuff like that, but also just for myself, notes and thoughts, because traveling is a big deal, and traveling with kids especially can take a lot out of you emotionally, mentally, so it's important to have a place to write those down, whether it be a journal or a log or notes on your iPhone, whatever, but always a good idea to do that. So I want to go over that because I do think it's an important part for especially co-parents, and it is part of my planning process. It is part of my prep progress, and because that's what these are, I thought, you know, this is an important one to actually put out. So with a couple weeks left, this is the calm before the storm. There is not a lot left to do, which I am so thankful for. I have worked hard to make sure that a lot of this stuff is done before the kids went back to their mothers, so that these 2 weeks I can catch up on work and catch up on editing and such like that, which reminds me, lots coming up. This week we've got a packing video with the kids. That's going to go up. I'm not going to ruin it, but it's a lot of fun. You are not going to want to miss that this weekend. The next week, on the 1st, we have a Globetrotter Guide episode, our next one coming up with Nicole Travel Tip, and I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this one. This is one that I had to have my pen and paper out for because Nicole was schooling me on travel credit card, points, perks, lounges, all that kind of stuff. So if you are at all in any way interested in traveling cheaper, more efficiently, taking advantage of the points and stuff like that are out there, this is the Globetrotter Guide for you. After that, the Stampede episodes come out. There was only one episode. I was just gonna do the $150 challenge, but you know what? I got it split out into 2 episodes. There was just so much footage from there, which was a good time. And then it's gonna be on to Jamaica stuff, which I am super excited about. I know you guys are super excited about as well. So stay tuned. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for those who have joined our Patreon so far. And again, if you're interested in if any of this stuff is resonating with you, please do join our Patreon at patreon.com/thewandercrew. Even just liking and subscribing to this video would be great for us because it helps the YouTube algorithm understand the type of person who it should show these videos to. And I'm really hoping that if you like it, you'll share it with somebody else with, again, my love and appreciation. But that is this for this episode. Again, next week, last public facing update. So if you want to be part of this, continuing on, and again, more than just these updates are going to be on the Patreon. We'll be putting lots of behind the scenes pictures, videos, thoughts, and stuff like that from our Jamaica trip as they happen. And moving forward, that's where a lot of our, behind the scenes, our fun, our bloopers are going to be. So do make sure to sign up. Even at the free level would be a great bit of support. And with that sales pitch over, until next time, keep exploring.